Good morning, you guys. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm back again. It's your girl, Mel. So I was just talking to my friend Makita. I was trying to go live because I actually want to have like if I'm talking to someone on the phone, like I want this to really be like a natural experience of me getting ready in the morning. So I normally talk to friends and things like that. I'm just gonna do my baby hairs first today because I already put on I did my morning routine because I had to leave the house earlier. So I'm just gonna do the final touches, do my makeup, do my baby hairs and everything like that. You feel me? Anyways, I was talking to my friend Makita and we were talking about goals and what she wants to do. She's moving and transitioning out of the current career that she's in. And we're talking about ways that she could just get into it, which brought me to today's message. Hey, the only thing, okay, guys, I'm using Eco Styler. I'm using the cannabis infused sativa oil, black castor oil, olive oil. I really like the consistency and I like that. I feel like it conditions my hair, but I don't feel like the hold, at least for my hair, and this gel is just not on fleek. I mean, I still use it because I bought it, so I'm gonna use it, And luckily, with this kind of hairstyle, you don't really see my baby hair, so I don't care. Like I said, and I mentioned, it's just like if the wind happens to blow, then I know that my edges are covered, at least kinda, because you never know with this gel. But you can tell I tried. Anyways. So I was just giving her ways. Like, I love to be that person. Like, if you are ready to do something and you feel like you're at a doubt about whether you want to do it or not, like, I love being that person to, just validate your feelings about things and push you over the edge. Like, if you want to do that shit, do it. Like, I'm gonna tell you to go. Like, so if you're not really sure and you don't really got a plan together, you don't really know if you want to do something, definitely don't call me and tell me about your plans, because I'm gonna be like, yeah, girl, quit your job, do it, go for it. Because I just believe that we all know what we need to be doing, or we know what we want to be doing, and I don't believe that there's a right way to do it, because there's a million ways to skin a fucking cat, There's a million ways to get to your destination. And actually, this has just been an ongoing theme this morning, because actually when I woke up, I had saw a tweet about something about somebody wishing that they went to school for like direction and stuff like that. But it's just like, there are so many people in this world who just have taken an untraditional route to get to where they're trying to go. Like, I think it's nice to try to play it safe, and in some instances, like, it's necessary to be super logical about how we get to places, especially if you like have someone depending on you, or something like that. But if you don't, honey, you need to take some risk in your life, and you need to start today. Because I was thinking this morning, I was just like, there have been times where I felt like I didn't really know what I wanted to do or how to get to where I wanted to go. And I feel like the times that I feel that way are when I feel like I don't have a clear goal for what it is I'm trying to do. So if you're someone who feels like, well, dang, I just don't feel like I know what I need to do, I would tell you to definitely take a look at pinpointing exactly what it is that you want. What is it? Because there's no way that after you pinpoint what it is that you actually want, that you cannot come up with some tasks to get you closer to that end goal. Because even if it's something completely foreign to you, we have Google. You can see how other people have done it. You can do some research, read up on it, and then you can, from that, take that information and create some goals for you, both a 6-month, a month goal, a week goal, down to what you're doing for the day that can get you closer to where it is that you want to be. The only time that I feel like we feel lost is when you just you have an idea of what you want to do, but you don't really have a clear vision of where it is that you want to go. Because when you think about it, we can be successful at anything. Anything that you want, you can be successful at it, because if you know exactly what it is. Because what success looks for me, what success looks like for me may not look like success for you. For me, success might be like, okay, on a amazing day, this is a successful day for me. I feel like I want to be able to wake up, have a cup of coffee. I want to be able to have time to sleep in before I go out for the day, da, da, da. It doesn't matter what it is. For you, it might be like, oh, I want to be able to buy designer and I want to be able to have a mansion and things like that. Like, the definition of success is different for everybody. So I feel like in order for you to get what you actually want, you have to first pinpoint exactly down to the T, as much as you possibly humanly can, what it is that you want. Otherwise, you're going to have those moments. And I feel like even when you do that, I feel like your list will change. Your list will change with you. Like, I've refined my goals many times, you know, and sometimes I get something that I thought that I wanted, and then I'll be like, you know what, actually, I don't think that this is a good fit for me. I feel like in general, as a human, you're gonna change what you like, what you want is gonna change. You might get what you thought you wanted and then realize that it's not actually a good fit for you. You know? Possibilities are absolutely endless. But I just want to express my gratitude. I'm really having a good time doing these. I was telling my friend Makita. Oh, let me stay on topic before I go on to something else, because I know I'll probably go on to something else. But okay, so other tips that I will be able to give is find ways. Okay, I'm back. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gone. Okay, I'm back, you guys. So, find ways to do what it is that you want to do right now. You might not say you want to have a completely different career, you know, and everything that you want to do is completely different from the life that you have right now. Find small ways to just get closer to that. So when you first start, let me get an example. Okay, so my friend, she was saying that she wants to be a food critic. And I'm not going to tell all her business, but she does driving for a living, you know. So I was suggesting to her, I'm saying, well, hey, since you already are traveling, you know, and you want to travel the world and be a food critic, how about before you leave for your trips, you find a restaurant that you want to, you know, critique and, you know, get content for, and just start like that. And then she was telling me, well, I don't have this and I don't have that. And I'm just like, you know, literally, like just how right now on live, I'm on my phone. I'm like, if you don't have the money to get a camera, start out with your phone. Start with whatever it is that you have. Whatever it is that you have right now, you always have enough to take a next step to get to where you want to be. I don't care what it is. You always have exactly what you need. The universe makes sure of it. And as you keep going, you graduate and you're able to upgrade your equipment, whatever the fuck. But the point is, if you want to do something, there's literally nothing to wait for. If you decide to wait, it's just because you don't want it as bad as you want to, or maybe you just still need time coming to grips with the fact that it's going to take some work to get where you want to go, if that's somewhere completely different. But you just have to start wherever you are with whatever it is that you have. Shit, that's what I'm doing right now. That's what I'm doing right now. That's all I've ever done. Winging it. And it's not even really winging it. It's just taking steps. And as I said before, like, okay, so I'm doing my little release party and things like that. Or just events that I planned in the past. There's been times where I've started out with $0 and 0 cents in my account. And I decided that I was going to throw an event to make money. I had everything I need. On my laptop, I have my Photoshop so I could get the flyers together. I had internet access to find the places that I want. And I never let the price of whatever it is deter me, because it is not your job solely to know exactly how you're going to get it. All it is, the only job of yours when it comes to manifesting is making sure that you have the vision, you know what you want to do, you're actively taking steps towards, which means looking for that venue, looking for prices for this, looking for prices for that, doing all of those things so that you can get to where you want to go, you know? And everything else, then once you have it in your mind and your focus, you might go somewhere that same day, and while you're sitting here thinking about, oh, I'm going to do this, you might go out, sit at the bar, talk to somebody, and then realize that that person can help you with what your goal is. Or this person has a referral, and then that ends up being something that, you know, you want. And sometimes it's just about having the vision. there's been plenty of times where I thought that I knew what venue I was going to use, and I'm like, this is the venue. This is absolutely the venue that I'm going to use. And really, it just ended up leading me to something else. You just have to be open and willing to see your vision unfold, and you have to believe in what it is that you're doing wholeheartedly. And even if you don't have the faith to do it wholeheartedly, at least a mustard seed. Don't give up the faith, okay? Don't give up the faith. Oh, so I have this incense burning in here. It's like rose. It smells so good, but I need to open the door because it's starting to get to me. Oh, get some circulation. I don't even care where you've been. You're connected with me, so where you've been. Matter of fact, I don't even care where you've been. Bad vibes, get off of me. So I'm about to watch something on YouTube. I love live, you guys. This is my favorite. I love the whole off-the-cuff aspect of it, not really being refined too much to one topic and just being able to get ready and just have a conversation with you guys, like just like if you're here, except for, you know, it'd be different because it would be somebody else talking back. But luckily, I like to talk, so this is perfect for me. So I'm about to look on YouTube. Oh, I see me. Okay. I'm gonna watch, see what's on my feed. Alright, you guys, let's see some of my favorite YouTubers. Eloho. I Am Eloho. I don't know if that's how you say her name. Eloho. Let's see what she's talking about. Let's get a little controversial. Okay, she's talking about colorism, so let's see what she's talking about. Her title is Dark-Skinned Women Dislike Light-Skinned Women and We're Aggressive. Let's see what she's talking about.
Welcome to my channel. My name is Eloho. I am a unicorn. And today I just want to talk about colorism. It's something that's really plaguing the community. And it's something that really bothers me. If I came on here and said that and spoke like that, y'all wouldn't call me aggressive. But because I'm confident, because I'm articulate, because I make eye contact, because, you know, sometimes I speak with my hands.
I love her. She's like awesome. And I used to love the Rugrats, so I love that this is her like theme song. Actually, this is somewhat of a reaction video, so I'm going to do a reaction video. I'm about to be all over YouTube, you guys.
Welcome to my channel, Mothersuckers. Hey. So this video is going to be kind of like a sister talk, like we just got to get some shit off our chest right now. As I've stated in many of my videos, this is a pro-black channel. This channel is really more so specifically geared to black women. But of course, every and anyone can enjoy my content. I love when people from different races and different backgrounds reach out to me and they're like, you know I'm not your target audience, but I love coming to your channel and hearing what you talk about and reading the comments and joining in conversations and learning, right? So that's amazing. Like, of course, I would want everyone to enjoy my channel. However, my target audience is my target audience. Now, this video is specifically for my target audience. Because I feel like it's just some shit we just gotta iron out and some things that we just gotta talk about. Now, y'all know, not, you know, an elderly woman or anything like that. However, I've had the privilege to grow up around, you know, amazing black women who instill so much in me. I learned to love myself at a young age. I learned about white supremacy at a young age. And then as I get older, I continue to just self-educate. All of my experiences pretty much makes me who I am. I use that and I come onto my platform and I talk to you guys about things that a lot of people don't like to talk about.
Yes.
I talk to you guys about topics that are often swept under the rug
She
in the
does.
black community. I talk about things that, you know, you would talk with your sis with, but you know, you wouldn't go on Instagram and start talking about it. Now, some people are about that life, but majority of us, we don't want to get our, you know what I mean? You don't want to make people feel uncomfortable, because when you talk about race, when you talk about gender inequality, when you talk about colorism, people, when you talk about real shit, people get uncomfortable. I'm always for shit. I ruffle a goddamn feather anytime.
Come on, yes.
I want to say this. I want to talk to my sisters. I want to talk to my light skin, my brown skin, my dark skin. You know, all flavors in a chocolate box. We are all a part of the chocolate box. If you are a black woman, in my opinion, you are a part of the chocolate box. You know, you got your light chocolate, you got your caramel, you got your deep, dark chocolate. Yeah, you got the flavors. Okay, we the flavors. We make up the box. Okay, so I'm talking to all of us. When I decided to go pro-black on my platform, I know a lot of people that either perpetrate colorism or benefit from colorism would not like my channel, you know, but I attack the conversations in a way to where I give you examples. You know, I don't just come on here and talk about my ass. I give you examples. You know, I give you scenarios, and I talk about how we can look at things a different way. That's the whole purpose of my channel. Like, you guys help me see things a different way, and I have the privilege to hopefully help you guys see from a different perspective as well. What really prompted me to make this video was a conversation in the last video that I posted. It was a thread that's, they probably still going back and forth in this thread right now as I'm making this video. You know, and someone came into the chat. I'm not gonna shout her out or anything. I'm not mad at any of you, but someone came in the comment section and she said, you know, Eloho, I feel like you don't like light-skinned women. I feel like, you know, we're all black. We should all be equal. We're all black women. You shouldn't bash black, you know, light-skinned black women. And, you know, I said to her, I said, can you give me the timestamp of where I bashed light-skinned women in this video? Interestingly enough, it was the video where I was actually talking to black men. I was saying, hey, black men, you know, y'all know what racism looks like. Why don't y'all call out colorism? Why don't y'all know?
She's probably talking about the Tyrese video.
Why is it that, you know, the majority will prefer the lighter chocolate? These are my questions, comments, and concerns in that video. I went on to say Tyrese's wife is beautiful. I want to let y'all know something. You know, contrary to popular belief, dark-skinned women who talk about colorism are not haters. And the sad part about it is, let me just put that story on hold real quick, but the sad part about it is, when I see light-skinned YouTubers talking about colorism and saying, yo, we gotta support our dark-skinned sisters, we gotta love our dark-skinned sisters, we gotta nip colorism in the bud. When I see light-skinned black women talking about that, the comment section are just like, it's so true, you know, that's right, we gotta hold up our sisters, we gotta love all of us as equal, we all beautiful, if you beautiful, da 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 da. But when a dark-skinned woman starts talking about colorism, it always gotta be because I'm hating. I really wanna let y'all know something. And y'all know I'm not cocky, I'm confident. It ain't been one person on this earth that I ever felt, that I feel like I need to hate on. Not a skin color, not a hair.
What's up, everybody?
Okay, I just want to
60 seconds, I'm gonna show
add real quick,
how this
but I'm going to pause real quick and just say.
Texture, not a.
So, okay, so Eloho, that's how you say it. I am Eloho. I watch her channel. I think she's super dope. I love her opinions about things. I love the fact that she does talk about things that, like she said, that nobody wants to talk about. And colorism is something that I definitely feel like is real. And I just want to go out my way to say that. And I definitely do not believe that dark-skinned women go out of the way to you know, hate on light-skinned women or nothing like that, as she's saying. I really believe what she's saying, because growing up in middle school, like, I've had a lot of darker-skinned women as my best friends. So I've seen the difference between how they've gotten treated. You know, like, maybe things are getting a little bit better now. But just growing up as an African-American female, as a light-skinned African-American female, I know for a fact that I have not had to suffer the same like bullying that my friends have, because like the majority, actually, yeah, for the majority of my life, my best friends have been darker skinned women, and I've seen it happen. I've seen them be bullied. I've seen them have to put up with shit that, like, just because they're black, because I'm black too, but I haven't experienced the things that they've experienced. And I know that to be a fact. Even the girl that I was just talking about, her name is Makita. I know I don't want to put her shit on blast, but it's a part of my experience, and I'm sharing my story here. When we were in middle school, like, we were in San Diego. I went to Taft Middle School. She was bullied. She was bullied by even our friends. I had light-skinned friends. They bullied her. They bullied her, and it was for no other reason that she was dark. I remember even in elementary school, being a black African American is just so interesting, because now I feel like it's more in to be black. But I remember, like, the jokes, like, even coming from our own, like, you would be roasted if you were dark skinned, or you would get called something like African booty scratcher, something fucking derogatory, because we were taught to hate ourselves. So that's just what I'm gonna say.
Oh, she got a good man, I'm hating. Oh, she got good money, I'm hating. I want to let y'all know something. There are a lot of black people who are very much confident in themselves, and they don't need to hate on other women. There are women, okay? I know some people don't believe it, and you know, women, we can get very catty sometimes. I'm not one of them. I'm not. I can point out a problem and still be very much confident in myself. You understand what I'm saying? So
I'm gonna try to spell it today.
We gotta kind of nip that in the bud of, you know, you're hating because you're talking about something that's really plaguing the community. That's one. Now back to you know, the conversation in the thread. So she said, you know, I feel like you don't like light-skinned women, and you know, I feel like you're bashing light-skinned women. So I asked her, I said, okay, you know, can you let me know the timestamp to where I was bashing light-skinned women? Because if you watch the video, I actually said Tyrese's wife is fucking gorgeous. Like, she's beautiful to me. She is. Like, I'm not gonna sit here like and just deny someone is pretty. Or my thing is, what people don't like is that I won't just base it off your skin and say you're pretty or not. And that's what people don't like. When I don't kiss light-skinned women's ass and say, oh, she's gorgeous, she's gorgeous. When I call a light-skinned woman mediocre because in my opinion she's fucking mediocre, then people want to say, oh, I'm hating. But then when it's a popping light-skinned woman and I'm like, nah, she's bad. Like, she's gorgeous, she's pretty. Once again, my opinion, right? My opinion. What's the problem? You know what I mean? And I'm just like, I literally gave her a compliment. It's like, there's nothing that I could ever say that just won't be taken the wrong way, you know? And it's like, I literally gave her a compliment, and then you would comment and say I'm bashing light-skinned women. Now, okay, once again, let's put that to the side. I want to talk about color scale. You know what I mean? The color scale, it ranges and it varies from culture to culture. I understand that. Like, someone who's light-skinned in the black community is not someone who will be considered light-skinned in the Indian community, so on and so forth. But honestly, black people, like, some of y'all that really be on here saying, oh, I'm light-skinned, you're not light-skinned. And it's okay. I never got the timestamp because I never bashed light-skinned women in the video. But, you know, so someone else went to say, you know, I understand what you mean, and, you know, you kind of got to watch a lot of her videos to really understand that she doesn't hate light-skinned women. And she doesn't hate, you know, racially ambiguous.
I feel like, okay, I'm going to punch in again. So being someone who's been a light-skinned person her whole life and has had, like, a light-skinned experience, I feel that the reason why sometimes people get offended by that, because it's just like one of those things where it's just like, sometimes it does kind of hurt to feel like someone doesn't consider you as black enough, because, you know, we all know that two dark-skinned people can have a light-skinned baby. So I feel like where that comes in and where people get defensive is because it's just like, well, damn, like, we already feel like, as black people, sometimes you feel discriminated against. Like, you know, obviously, I mean, nobody needs to know, especially in America, like, we all know that this is something that happens. Or we just feel like, you know, we have our struggles or whatever, so it already feels like we're separated from everybody else. So then for it to be like dark-skinned people or people who are darker to be like, well, to be called white growing up, things like that, like, that kind of stuff hurts. And I feel like that's why light-skinned women sometimes get defensive, because it's just like they don't want to be further ostracized. They don't want to be further separated and be like, oh, well, damn, I'm black, but now I'm not black enough. And it's just like, I'm black. Like, you can still be black as fuck and still be light-skinned. But I think that's why people take it personally, you know.
With women. Maybe that's true. Maybe you gotta watch one or two, because sometimes I just get right to the point and I don't give cushions. I don't give softeners.
I'm digging this look today. It's very neutral, but it's kind of edgy too, because I like the black.
Sometimes, like, we've been doing this for too long. I gotta give you the tea. I gotta get right to the point. So I'm gonna give you the straight to the point. Listen, this shit is colorist. This shit is whack. End the video. But I understand that a lot of people need to be eased into this. If you need to be eased, then you need to take time.
It's a sensitive topic for people.
All of the videos. You can't just watch one video and say, I feel like you don't like light skin women. Well, sis, I'm sorry that you feel that way, but you don't know even a hole in a wall.
Yeah, as somebody who watches Eloho, like I definitely feel like she does not discriminate, or she doesn't like. I don't think that that's a true statement that she doesn't like light skinned women. I feel like sometimes you have to take a step out of who you are and who you've been in your experience, and just recognize, like, our sisters and brothers who are darker, they have a different experience. You know, they do, and instead of trying to take that away from somebody, just be open to the fact and hear the story so that you can relate and just know how you can better assist or how you can better move to support those people. Because I know for a fact, like, I have a platform, it's called Passion Fruits, and on the Instagram I make it a point to really celebrate darker skinned women, because I know that it's so much harder for them to get their due diligence, you know.
You watch one video where I said, oh my God, colorism ain't right, and now all of a sudden you think I don't like light-skinned women. But if I gave light-skinned women praise all day, if I kiss y'all ass all day and said, if I did what black men did, nobody would ever come for my channel. Nobody would ever say, hey, Eloho, you should talk about beautiful dark-skinned women. And that's what I don't like. It's like sometimes people just see, you feel so attacked that you can't see another perspective. You're so used to the cushion. You're so used to the ass kissing.
Yeah.
That the minute somebody says, shit don't be right sometimes.
They
shit
feel
really
some
don't even be equal. How equal you want to say all black women is equal, but are y'all really represented equally?
Yeah.
Are y'all really represented equally? If you can answer that question honestly and say, yes, light-skinned women are represented equally like dark-skinned women, then I will shut up. I will close up shop. Me and Pigacorn, we out. If you can really sit here and say we are all represented equally, if you know for a fact, yeah, I get where you're coming from, but there's no buts. There's no buts after that. You get where I'm coming from, so stand here with me. Stand here with me, sis. If you know where I'm coming from, stand here with me, and let's fight this fight together.
Exactly. I actually have a story about this. So even as a light-skinned black woman, so I have a story time. I'm just about to go into my story time because I feel like we get the point. I already said how I felt about that. But, because I've already watched this video. But, so, what am I going to say? Oh, actually, I didn't watch this video, but I watched the video that she's, like, responding to. And, okay, so I was a part of this organization. I'm going to keep it real light. I'm not about to say no names, no nothing like that. I was a part of this organization. And basically, in this organization, it was creative, right? So, I was doing my thing. I'm an artist. And, basically, I ended up having a problem about, like, a wardrobe selection that I was supposed to be given for a couple of reasons. But the main reason, as it relates to this topic, was just about, I felt like because I was black, I was given a certain aesthetic that I didn't necessarily feel like fit my brand and who I was. I felt like up until that point, they have never known me to present this kind of aesthetic, not because I'm ashamed in any kind of way of being African American or black or representing that in any kind of way. I just felt like because of the song that I was singing, I just felt like too many assumptions were made about where I was trying to go with it, and I didn't appreciate it because it didn't come from a black person. So basically, after speaking up about that, people became very defensive. They really felt some type of way about, basically saying like they weren't trying to mean anything about it. But my thing is, I just wanted them to understand why I felt the way that I felt. And the main person that I felt like I had an issue with, like she calls herself black, but she definitely, to the natural born eye, no one would assume that she's black. She's very mixed. So it's just like, to me, she had more like an Asian Hispanic type look, maybe even Italian, black would not be the first assumption, I don't think, from anyone, you know? So when I brought that up, her first thing was to say, you know, I'm black, so how could you tell me that I'm meaning something by this, or that I'm trying to be offensive, or, you know, racially charged and stuff like that. And my response was, we don't have the same experience. Like, that may be true. I'm not about to dig into anybody's ancestry and find out what you are or what you're not. But basically, it's just like, I still didn't feel comfortable because she didn't look like me, you know? And I felt like the reason why things went so sour is because instead of taking themselves out of the situation to hear me and what I had to say about my experience and how I felt about it and how I felt like I was kind of profiled in a certain kind of way, you know, they took it personally. Like how she's saying, like how sometimes light-skinned women might take it personally, that dark-skinned women have their own experience, and you have to let people have their own experience without trying to insert your personal feelings about it, because you've never walked a day in my shoes. You know, if I can't look at you and tell you're black as a black person, you know, as a light-skinned black person, whatever the fuck, I feel like nobody would look at this person and say that she's black. Nobody would say that. Just take how I feel into consideration without trying to interject your personal opinion about who you are or what you may or may not have in your ancestry. And I feel like it just comes back to what this is and why she feels the way that she feels, because nobody likes to have their experience invalidated. Nobody. You know, that's the main problem with America. People don't understand, like, why black people are seen as so sensitive and, oh, you can't do this and you can't do that. It's not that you can't. It's just like, first you must acknowledge. It's a respect thing. First you must acknowledge where things come from, or you must first acknowledge, like, how someone might feel like this is wrong. You know, like, just acknowledge it. It doesn't have to be your experience for you to respect it. Okay, we're going to continue.
I have light-skinned aunts. I have light-skinned cousins, friends, besties, like, people, my ride or dies, like, and these are all people that support me. They support me talking about colorism because they want this shit to die as much as I do. It is okay to admit that you somewhat can benefit from something and it's not fair.
Because it's out of your control.
On my channel before, I've seen a lot of favoritism in the workplace because of my name, because my name is foreign, because you can look at my name and then you'll see me in person and you're like, okay, so, you know, what's the story? You know what I mean? And it's like, oh, you're African, you're not that black, you're that black. So I've acknowledged the privilege that I've had in certain circumstances. But when the shoe is on the other foot, people can't acknowledge the privilege that they have in certain circumstances.
Yeah.
And when you talk about it, it's aggression. When you talk about it, it's hate. When you
right,
talk about it,
you mad.
I feel like you don't like us.
Right.
Why would I not like y'all? Like, y'all don't understand because y'all don't really know me. And, you know, that's fine. Why would I not like y'all? If you ever met me in person, I swear, every female that I've ever met in person in the club, if you look cute, you look cute. Like, you could be a little white girl. If you look cute and you pop it, I'm going to tell you, like, guys, what you drinking? Like, come smoke a hookah with me. Like, you lit, you pop it. I really wish I don't have no hate. This whole video is just to say, I don't hate light-skinned women, okay? I don't. My problem is white supremacy and the effects of white supremacy on the black community. How we have taken colorism from the white man and we've ran with it, and it is running the black community to the ground. Mm-hmm. That's my problem. If you're someone who perpetuates colorism or turns a blind eye to colorism because it benefits you, then yes,
that's a problem
with you.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, you know, it's dark-skinned women that perpetuate colorism. It's light-skinned. Anybody can perpetuate colorism. Exactly. I'm not just coming for light-skinned people. I'm coming for colorism.
In general.
Like, damn, like, sometimes I feel like I be explaining things to the best of my ability. You know what I mean? And then I get the comments, and it's not the trolls. You know, the trolls, I don't give a fuck. It's not the trolls. Sometimes it's just like people that just really feel like, yeah, we get what you're saying, but you coming for light-skinned women.
Some people who can't see past their own experience.
I hated light-skinned women. When did I ever say I hated anybody, to be honest? It's
exactly.
just the action.
I've never got that.
Action. It's the action. It's the action. And it's the people that carry the action and run the community into the dirt. We have to talk about this whole aggressive thing, you know? So some people have been saying that I'm aggressive. Bitch, where? Where?
This shit is facts.
Where? Here's the thing, right? Here's the gag. When I was doing
I'm like on my
makeup
last
tutorials,
bit
I
of
was
oil.
focused
This shit
on
smells so.
my comedic content. When I was focused on makeup and beauty, I promise you, my personality never changed. I never got called aggressive. I never got called a hater.
When you talk about something that's passionate to you, they want to call you mad.
From, oh, let's learn how to do our eyebrows to, damn, black men, y'all be treating us like shit sometimes. Now I'm aggressive.
Right. Now it's too
same
much.
personality. It's the same delivery.
Come
it's
on,
the
Elo.
same unicorn.
Come on,
Now I'm
yes.
aggressive. And that's very interesting. It's very interesting. But I'm not aggressive. I don't
My videos are getting longer and longer, you guys.
I don't
What time
find it
is
to
it?
be cute. I don't find it to be something that we as black women should call each other. Especially when it just comes to simply, like, I'm just simply talking about topics that affect the community. I think a better word to describe me would be passionate.
Yes, exactly.
Energetic. Larger than life.
Yes, yes.
You know, I mean, like, I gotta understand something like aggressive. Like, these aggressive, angry, these are words that, you know, police who abuse their power, you know, justice systems that abuse their power, these are words that they use to literally incriminate black women. Black people. Oh, she was being aggressive. Officer, why are you handcuffing me? What's going on? What's going on? Stop.
That's aggressive, right?
I'm very opinionated. I'm very on point. Like, I don't beat around the bush. I'll call you out. That's not aggressive. That's not aggression, though.
Right.
In fact, I feel like I'm a very gentle. You know, I think I'm very gentle. You know, lighthearted, kind. I'm not aggressive. Welcome to my channel.
I love her name.
I just want to talk about colorism. It's something that's really plaguing the community, and it's something that really bothers me when, you know.
Yes, that's something that bothers me, and that's something that I struggle with too, because I feel like my personality, depending on what it is that I'm talking about and if I'm passionate, can come off strong. But it's not because I'm being overly aggressive. I'm just passionate about things, you know? And I've got that. Even that same day, that same instance that I gave you guys the story time about, yeah, I was called aggressive then. Like, and I don't feel like it's aggressive. Sometimes certain things cause for certain tones. And I'm just like this in general. I feel like everybody should have the range, you know, to be what the situation calls for. So if you need to be passionate, sometimes you can't talk like this and get your point across. People won't feel you, you know? And just because some people don't have the ability, you know, to really express themselves a certain way, that doesn't mean that somebody who can, you know, get up there, you know, and really get excited about what they're talking about and they're really engaging with you, really being direct with you, that doesn't make them aggressive. Like, you know, let people be how they are. Let them express themselves. As long as nobody is putting their hands on you and, like she said, cuffing you and slamming you on a damn cop car or some shit like that. Let people express themselves. That's what's wrong with people today, and that's why people go crazy, because nobody wants to see authentic expression. Or when it comes to something that's serious that needs to be talked about, everybody wants to be so fragile about the situation. But sometimes you can't be super quiet and meek about a situation. Sometimes you just need to express yourself as it calls for. But yeah. And nobody takes you serious when you are like that too. Nobody hears you. So I really agree with her. I'm just gonna cut off the video now because I'm about to go put on another shirt or whatever and just get ready to go. But thank you guys for tuning in with me today. I really enjoyed our talk. I'm really excited to just talk about multiple things, and especially like just promoting the YouTubers that I really like and the topics that do need to be talked about, because I love to watch content like this. I love to hear about other people's experiences. I love to just broaden my horizons, because I feel like if more people did that and more people did more research about like things like colorism, then maybe they can recognize how maybe sometimes they could be insensitive about something, or, you know, just how other people are affected in the world, because it's not all about us. We all have our individual experiences, but you have to keep in mind that everybody else does too, you know. And I think that that makes a better world. Like, and I really like the fact that she said that, like, she has people who watch her channel, which is a pro-black channel. Every single time I click into her channel, I think I've been subscribed to her now for like a month or two, but every single time I tune into her, it's usually about some type of pro-black situation. And I watch it myself because I'm just like, I could be ignorant to things. Like, you know, I'm a black person, but just like how she said, other light-skinned women had an issue with what she was saying. Like, you know, sometimes you just need to hear other people's experiences without inserting your own and feeling like it's an attack on you. It's not an attack just because you don't agree, or because at the end of the day, none of us can speak for another person. It could be someone who's just like me, who has a totally different view on the situation, and I will give them that at the very least. This is something that I learned, and this is what I'm going to close it off with. So when I was at my Yes retreat, I was learning about, you know, basically that everybody can be right. Whatever you believe in your mind, you're going to believe that, and, you know, that's what you believe. You can believe that the sky is green, and I can say it's blue, and I don't have to try to prove you wrong. I can hear you out and accept what it is that you said and say, that's her perspective on it. Do I have to agree? No, but I don't have to argue her down or him or her down to try to get her to see things my way. Because at the end of the day, that person has a reason that she sees things and say, maybe she's colorblind. Maybe it could be anything. Maybe she just has a different perspective on life. But let's stop trying to take away other people's perspectives, you know, because that's the quickest way to make people feel unseen, unheard. That's the same thing that, you know, causes people to go into depression, all this different stuff. Let people have their experiences. You don't have to necessarily validate or prove that something is right or try to tell somebody that they're wrong. Just hear them out. And maybe just for a second, just step out of your shoes and not worry about trying to make it mean something to you or trying to make you, you know, and if you do, say you were to watch something like this and then, like, say I was a light-skinned woman who felt some type of way and I thought that she felt some type of way about light-skinned women. Like, I could have got angry and been like, oh, you know, this means that, you know, that I did this, and I don't have to make it mean anything about me. It just simply means that this is a woman, she has her experience, and I'm going to allow her to have that experience, and I'm going to hear her out so maybe I can learn something. Let's try to be more open to learning instead of trying to disprove and discredit people, especially when it comes to women and black women in general, because it's just that whole double minority situation is fucking real. So, okay, guys, I'm about to tune